I'm gonna start the 5-lug. I didn't show you guys this, but ended up getting a whole 5-lug setup with drilled and soldered brakes and then some Z32 calipers right here. So I'm gonna be swapping all that over. So as he rolls that one, I'm gonna start to take this apart so I can make this 5-lug so I can run these wheels. I know I didn't tell you guys, but these are 18 by 9.5. I hope they fit, but in my opinion, 18s are a little too big. They're 240s. Somehow Tom's looks really good because they're RPF ones, but I don't know if these are gonna look good. So we're gonna have to try them out. And if they look too big, then I'll end up buying some 17s and getting rid of these. We got this side done. Now we just gotta throw the calipers on, but for those we're gonna have to delete it. But yeah, now we gotta do that one. Like I said, it's finished rolled. Tom just finished rolling this one, so now this is all nice and rolled. Now we're gonna make this 5 lugs like this. All right, so Tom's gonna torque this to, what was it, 140? 150. Hold on. And then we got the stock dust shield out, my bad, right here. And the way we got this out was with 2 hammers, hitting it on both sides like at the same time with 2 hammers, because I know on the other one we like hit it and it wasn't coming out. So you hear that click.
It's like never gonna move again.
So yeah, with the Z32 brakes right there, they're too big and they don't clear the stock dust shield, so we had to just take it off. Plus,
sound over here too?
it's a race car, so where does it make the noise? Right here? Right here?
Right here. Ooh, that's at 280.
All right, so now we're gonna bleed the brakes. Blade the brakes. So we got everything. Well, Tom pretty much did everything. But now we got this fancy Suckaroo 2000. It's gonna suck the life out of these, so we don't gotta do it manually. Okay.
Suck it up. Alright, ready?
Come on, give it the Suckaroo.
So I turn the compressor, and then I want to see that stuff is fine. I can turn it on, then I loosen this, right?
What?
I can turn it on, then I loosen it.
Is it giving it the Suckaroo? Oh shit! We just got the fronts done. Both the fronts, we got it bled and everything with that this suction thing that Asher had, which made it so easy. So now I'm just gonna test drive and make sure it doesn't rub. And then I think we're gonna continue the rears tomorrow, just because we still have to roll the fenders. So we might roll the fenders tonight, and then tomorrow do the whole 5-lug conversion and swap and all that on the rear. I do want to run mismatched wheels. I want to run these on the front and then probably my RPF ones in the back, if I can fit them. So I still have to go see if I can get some tires mounted on those wheels, because the tires that they have are too big, but now I'm gonna test drive it. Now that we got the fronts done, it's going to be time for the rears. So the rears, I am going to be using the factory rear brakes. So you're going to want to remove this bolt right here, not this one, the one inside, which removes the whole entire bracket. And there should be one on the bottom. Take this cotter pin off. I want a 36 millimeter 6 point, not a 12 point. I know that looks like a 12 point, but that's just a cap. So you want to take this cotter pin off, obviously get a new one, don't reuse it. Take this cap off, and then like I said, you're gonna want to get one of these. Most people don't have these just at their house. I got this at AutoZone for I think $24, which will come in a lot handy. You're gonna put that in there, take that out, and then it's gonna be pretty much the same exact thing, except in order to take off the hub, you have to take bolts off from the back, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do it without removing any of your arms. Have the center nut out, and you want to remove these back bolts. There should be 4 of them, and a lot of people, they disconnect the, I guess you can call this the camber arm and the toe arm. They disconnect these 2 arms, and they let the whole kind of rear spindle fall out of place, and it gives them access. Or the Nissan, I don't know if you can see the grooves right here on the axle itself. See there's a little like groove in there, and that allows you to get back in there. I can't get my hand in here, really tight spot, but it allows you to get to these top bolts, and then you rotate it, and then you can access the bottom ones. It's kind of hard to explain. Alright guys, so learn from my mistake. The whole time I was using this 19mm, which is like, I want to say like a medium size in length. I don't know exactly how long. And this breaker bar, and the problem I was having was that the breaker bar was too long and it was hitting back here, but I was using it because this part is so like small. And then I was like, wait, what if I have a smaller socket? So I got a 3/4 inch and a ratchet, and back here you can see it works super easy. You put this bottom one right like down here in this area, you stick it in there, you hit it with the hammer. You know it's a ratchet, you're not supposed to use it like that, but it worked. It broke loose. So it took me about, I want to say 30 seconds to do this one. And this one, this whole time I was struggling with the breaker bar. I was trying to get it in here like this, and it was hitting up here. So it took me like 30 minutes to do this one, just to break it a little loose. And then I was like, wait. So I was just using this ratchet, just like a medium ratchet, not the, so there's the big one. I don't know if you guys have the same kit as me, but there's a big one, the medium one, and the small one. I don't know what drive it is, but you can see. And then I'm using also a smaller socket, so it's just a lot smaller. And since this is kind of small, it's the same size as the socket, it works so good. So I just got this, stuck it back here, hit with the hammer, broke it loose, and yeah, it do it like this, and it'll be a lot easier. And that way you can get all bolts, which is using a ratchet and a 3/4 inch. I don't know what size it is, but a fairly small socket, and it'll make everything so much easier without having to remove any of the bolts, instead of using this long breaker bar like I had mentioned before. Make sure that you remove this center nut before you remove all the brakes. I accidentally forgot, and I took everything off, and then I was trying to take this off and it was spinning, and I was like, wait. So I was like, oh, let me put the handbrake on, and then I remembered the other side was taken apart. So I had to put everything back together. Not the bolts for the actual, but just the brakes. I had to put those on for the e-brake. So I put the e-brake up and was able to break it, so now I have to take everything apart on this side and on the other side. But I only put up one bolt for the brakes, but still, just do that before you have to go back and then do it. So just do this first. I'd recommend taking these off before you do anything at all. That way your handbrake is still able to be used. And also make sure that both your calipers are on the rotors. When you pull the handbrake, make sure this one isn't dangling and the other one's like on there, and you pull the handbrake, because then you're not going to be able to free these up, because it's all one piece with the hydraulic brake, and the handbrake is all together. Alright guys, so in order to get the hub out, I put the old rotor on because I knew I wasn't going to use it backwards, and I put the lug nuts back on, and I smacked it right here and right here with the hammer, like one whack. I wouldn't do like 10 and then one. Did it evenly, and it slowly wiggled out like that. I made sure there was no nut on here, and now As you can see, it's pretty loose. Now I just got to hit the axle out, and this should be ready to come out. Alright guys, so I was just editing this video and I saw that there was no outro, so I'm going to quickly make one. Alright guys, so I hope my hand's not on the mic. I'm just filming this on the iPhone just to get a quick outro so I can finish editing this video and get it out for you guys. But I did get the front 5-lug swap situated. I also forgot to mention that I had to run a slip-on spacer because the wheels were hitting the coil. You can see it right there. So yeah, right now I want to say it probably has less than 1/4 of an inch from the actual coil spring and the inner barrel of the wheel, which is kind of not what I like, but it works, I guess, if you want to call it like that. You can see the fitment with the new wheels. I know there's a bunch of people that were asking me questions on the wheels. 18 by 9.5 plus 24 TE reps, not really anything crazy. You can see the Z32 brakes on there, 30 mil calipers, drilled and slotted rotors. For those of you who are wondering what coils I'm running, Megan's. And once again, the rear, same thing. It's really dirty because I was trying to slide it in the dirty like rain and all that. So this car does need to be washed. But same, 5-lug in the rear. The rear rotors are the same size as the stock ones. They're just drilled and slotted. So that's why I was able to get away with using the stock rear calipers. And that's why my handbrake still works, because they are the factory calipers. Now, if I was to get 300ZX rear brakes, rear calipers, whatever you want to call it, then I would need like kind of like a weird system for the e-brake, like running 300ZX cables and 240 cables, if that makes sense. But right now it's all 240 stuff. They're just drilled and slotted, so that's good to go. Now on the front, these rotors are bigger diameter than the stock ones, so I couldn't run these big brake calipers, whatever you want to call them, with the stock rotors, so I had to get these. Luckily I got it all together. What I do want to say and mention is I highly recommend getting 300ZX brakes or 30 mil brakes, whatever you want to call them. They stop so much better than the stock ones. I thought the stock ones were pretty good. I was like, why do I need to ever upgrade these? That's why on my old 240 I never did that. But once I did end up doing it on this, it makes the whole car just so much better at performing. And then with the coilovers, like, I feel like this car, all it needs is coilovers and brakes, and I think you're good to track it, drift it, whatever you want to do. I do want to get rid of these wheels. In my opinion, they're a little too big. They're 18s, like I said. I want 17s or just kind of a different style. They're not really my cup of tea, especially the color, and I just don't think it matches with the red. The red already is kind of faded, and then when you put these, I feel like it makes the red look dirty. When I had the stock wheels on, they were like silver, and it made the paint actually look really nice. So I do want to get some silver wheels on there. So if you guys want to trade these, if you guys are interested and you guys have silver wheels or white wheels, then definitely go to my Instagram. I'll have it down in the description. And you know, if you guys want to trade, then I'm down to trade. They have brand new tires. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it useful, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, guys.